walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Well, this happens occasionally to everyone. Alzheimer's disease causes severe and progressive memory loss. Today, we're analyzing Lisa Genova's Big Think video, 5 ways to build an Alzheimer's-resistant brain, and connecting it to the concepts from our class.
Begins with a protein called amyloid beta. It's a sticky protein. It'll bind to itself and form amyloid plaques. And if enough amyloid plaques accumulate in your brain, at some point it reaches a tipping point that causes neurofibrillary tangles, neuroinflammation, cell death, and all of the symptoms that we classically know of as Alzheimer's. Prior to that tipping point, you're symptom-free. It's sort of like if you have high cholesterol, it doesn't mean you're gonna have a heart attack. So below the tipping point, your symptoms of forgetting are all normal. Why did I come in this room? Where did I park my car? Oh, what's his name? I need to remember to buy something later and I forgot. That's totally normal. After the tipping point, the glitches in memory formation and retrieval are different. Alzheimer's begins in your hippocampus, the very place in your brain that's responsible for forming new memories. So the very first symptoms of Alzheimer's will be not remembering what someone said a few minutes ago, repeating yourself over and over because you don't remember what you just said, not remembering what happened last week, even if it was really emotional, meaningful, new, surprising, or repeated. Things that you would normally remember from last week won't get consolidated because your hippocampus is under attack. Alzheimer's will move. It doesn't just stay in your hippocampus. It invades your frontal lobe, so you'll have problems with problem solving, decision making. It invades parts of your brain that have to do with where things are in space, so you might get lost in the neighborhood you've lived in your whole life.
In class, we learn neurons communicate through synapses, and when these connections fail, memory formation becomes difficult. Lisa Genova explains that lifestyle choices can help protect the brain. The first way is exercise.
Exercise increases blood flow and oxygen delivery to brain cells. This stimulates growth factors that protect neurons and even increase the size of the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory. Cells require oxygen and nutrients to maintain homeostasis, which we studied in class.
Exercise. It works to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. A brisk walk for 30 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week is enough to decrease your amyloid plaque levels and reduce your risk of developing Alzheimer's by a third to a half. Again, this is significant. If I offered you a pill that would reduce your risk of Alzheimer's by 50%, you'd take it.
Another important habit is sleep. During sleep, the lymphatic system removes toxic waste such as beta amyloid proteins. Without enough sleep, these harmful proteins accumulate and increase Alzheimer's risk.
While you sleep, there are cells in your brain called glial cells. These are the janitors of your brain. It's the sewage and sanitation department. They get really busy clearing away all of the metabolic debris that accumulated in your brain while you were in the business of being awake. And one of the things it critically clears away is amyloid beta. So if you don't get enough sleep, the glial cells won't have enough time to do their jobs, and you'll wake up in the morning with some extra amyloid in your brain that wasn't cleared away. If this happens over decades, right, 15 to 20 years of amyloid plaque accumulation, you are increasing your risk of developing Alzheimer's.
Pulling all-nighters might help you finish assignments, but they don't help your brain. The next habit focuses on challenging the brain through learning.
Learning new skills strengthens neuroplasticity, which allows the brain to form new synaptic connections. Activities such as learning new languages or music strengthen neural pathways. Neurons adapt to stimulation, which demonstrates cellular adaptation discussed in class. Social interactions also plays an important role.
Let's say your amyloid plaque levels have reached that tipping point, and it's triggered the cascade that causes Alzheimer's. If you've lived a life where you're cognitively active, you're regularly learning new things, you are building what we call a cognitive reserve. Every time you learn something new, you're building new synapses, you're building new neural connections. So what does this have to do with Alzheimer's? If I have some Alzheimer's disease pathology present in my brain, amyloid plaques are gunking up the connections between a certain number of neurons, blocking some synapses. But what if I've built a lot of redundant connections? I've got an abundance and a redundancy in connections. I can dance around those roadblocks. I can take detours and still get to the memory I'm trying to get to. So learning new things gives us a way to build an Alzheimer's resistant brain.
Isolation increases stress hormones like cortisol. High cortisol levels damage neurons and impair memory. Maintaining emotional health helps maintain biological homeostasis. The final cell factor Lisa Genova discusses is diet.
A healthy diet reduces inflammations and oxidative stress that damage neurons. For example, the Mediterranean diet is rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. Has been linked with improving the brain health. Nutrition affects cellular metabolism and overall body functions, which connect directly with the consent promo class.
Diet. There have been many really good studies that have shown that being on a Mediterranean or MIND diet can reduce your risk of Alzheimer's from anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2. This means eating the rainbow, the green leafy vegetables, the brightly colored fruits and berries, fatty fishes, nuts, beans, olive oils. That's the food that's going to support your brain health and help you prevent Alzheimer's.
Let's test your memory. Let's see how many items you remember from the table. Memory formation depends on attention and synapses strengthening. Now, write down everything that you remember. Alzheimer prevention begins with everyday choices like sleep, exercise, learning, and social connections.
Understanding biology allows us to make decisions that protect our future brain health.